I'm Alex Posth. I'm working at the Zurich University of Applied Science, and here my focus of research is at the intersection of digitization, green finance, sustainability, and technology. My aim for this visit really was to get a better understanding of how green finance, the transition to a greener, more sustainable economy and society works in China. And I didn't have any contacts at all. And Swissnex China, they facilitated all the contacts for me, and they really did an awesome job. My visit was split in two parts. First was Shanghai, second was Beijing. This first meeting, that was the ZHAW Institute for Green Investments. And then on the following days, I met colleagues at the Shanghai Institute of International Finance Center, the Shanghai Tech University, and then onwards for the second part of my trip. In Beijing, I met with practitioners at ZHAW Green Finance. I went to visit colleagues at the International Institute of Green Finance, and I also talked to finance professionals at the Harvest Fund. If we talk about green finance and sustainability, basically we have to realize, or we already have realized to a large extent, that this is a global problem. If we look at climate change, if we look at pollution, these are not things which can be tackled by single countries, single governance, but which need to be addressed on a global level. So for me, and that was one of my main motivations to visit China, it was very, very important to get a global, more holistic understanding of sustainability and of how around the globe societies and economies are shaping themselves towards a more greener infrastructure and setup. And that, of course, is important because you need to understand the differences and the common basis of how this change can be brought along. And here, I think the most impressive bit for me to take away was that in China, the motivation for green change is exactly the same as in Europe, but the focus is a very different one. So integrating this into my understanding was very, very important for shaping the focus of my future research. The common ground I identified was mainly that whether you look at Europe, whether you look at the US, whether you look at China, it's all about leveraging the potential of technology, right? And this is especially so in China, because China, apart from a dedicated focus on sustainability, has also a dedicated focus on growth. So these two things need to be brought together. And the leverage you can identify here is really technology. So it's all about identifying green technology, funding green technology, and getting this into effect for a more sustainable economy. In Switzerland, in Europe, things look a little bit different from a focus point of view. Still, technology is at the core of the development, is at the core of the change we need to see here too. But here, it's a little bit more about the transformation of the economy. So if you look, for example, at Germany, right? Germany is currently in the process of transforming the whole energy sector. And it will take a lot of time, right? There is this disconnect between what scientists tells us what we should do, between what Friday for Future tells us what we should do, right? And what is effectively possible without crushing the economy, without basically destroying the whole setup of the society. And a way needs to be found. And this is very critical because on the one hand, we already see that we are on a very, very bad path. If we look at the pure scientific facts, we are already late addressing these issues. But change has been brought underway, not only in China, but also in Europe. And we need to, in the best possible way, leverage our resources, our financial resources, as well as our technological resources to effect this change. I think it's a wonderful opportunity if you have a certain focus of research which you would like to get a broader scope, a broader understanding on, then to take this opportunity up, actually use the awesome help offered by Swissnex, and just also to a certain extent enjoy the experience, right? Because for me it was a great experience, not only with regard to my scientific work, but also in the effect of getting to learn new people, new cultures, understanding what the differences are, and also understanding what the common ground is.